Hi everybody. For the catalyst for the Human Body Project, we are going to consider how to set up an invitation for learning that will extend students' thinking and their play even further. When you want to set up an invitation for learning, it's best to have sort of all the materials that you're thinking about using for your invitation just kind of laid out in front of you. This way it gives you, the educator or the educator team, an opportunity to really play with the materials and consider how students might enter such an invitation for learning. One of the things to consider is the space. Where will you set this up in your own classroom? A neutral background would really help, and for documentation, for pictures and student work to be displayed at eye level. You also want to consider what kind of furniture you might need. Is it going to be a floor provocation? Does it need a table surface? Does it need lower furniture? So consider all of those before you begin as well. So as I'm considering how to set up this invitation, I'm trying to set up my furniture first and say hello to Snowflake. So Snowflake is going to be perhaps part of this invitation. Maybe I'll change my mind by the end, as a way to hold some of the materials. So I have my sort of neutral background and my initial furniture set up. So our invitation for learning is in progress right now. Some of the things I really like to consider is, do I have a mix of authentic materials and models of the materials that I want to sort of simulate a certain concept? So for example, I don't have real live bones, but we have pieces of a foam puzzle that mimic bones. The great thing about this one is that the name of the bone is actually on the back. A human body model and a skeleton model, if you have access to those. And then authentic materials like the stethoscope and the blood pressure monitor. The wonderful thing about this is you could have family members, community members that could give you access to these materials, which would be wonderful for that home and school connection. So this getting ready for surgery checklist was actually co-created with the kindergarten students. So it emerged out of an interest that they had in playing hospital and doctors, and we thought about what are some important things that you have to consider if a patient is going in for surgery. And so we co-created this list, and then we typed it up, and it's laminated so students can check it off, write on it, do whatever they like. And as well as this patient chart, which we co-created because they said we need a place to record sort of what they're observing about the patients that come into the hospital. You can also add clipboards and paper, pens, pencils, recording devices, an iPad if you have access to one. It's a great way for students to document their learning and their thinking. And of course, you as the educator and educator team can also be taking anecdotal notes, taking photographs, taking videos of your students at play. Something really great to add are these little chalkboard easels. You can find them at Dollarama, Amazon, and wherever else you do your school shopping. You can write a prompting question. So as the play continues, you can further provoke their thinking. So a question here might be, how do bones break? How might we fix broken bones? What's a way to keep our bodies healthy so that we're not getting sick? A question that students here were exploring is, how do I make a body feel better if it is sick? So there's lots of ways to engage students and student learning through an invitation for learning. So a final sweep.